We are in a half kneeling position, so as though you're in the bottom position of a lunge. You're going to get into medial rotation of tibia, so your toes are going to be pointing in toward the inside. We want to get maximum supination of the foot, so get a nice high arch in your lower foot. And then what we want to do for this one is we're going to go in. Hey everyone, Steven here with TV4Work, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to correct flat feet, and this is a companion video to the video that I showed you guys last year. I already taught you how to correct flat feet, however the video from last year was a lot more comprehensive, which means it was also a lot more time consuming. It would have taken you anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes to complete. If you have that time available, I'm going to include a link right up over here to part 1 of the 3-part series. However, if you're very limited on time, this workout is only going to take you 15 to 20 minutes to complete, so this is going to be the video for you. With regard to flat feet is an overpronation or eversion of the foot. Overpronation, what happens is the medial arch of your foot, it's going to become collapsed. It's also known as a collapsed arch, not just flat feet. And when you develop that, what's going to happen is all the muscles on the medial aspect of the lower leg are going to become very, very taut. All the muscles on the lateral compartment of the lower leg are going to become very, very short and tight. So we want to strengthen the muscles that are responsible for supination and stretch the muscles on the lateral compartment of the lower leg. And for today, I'm going to be taking you through 2 mobilization exercises, 2 strengthening exercises, and 2 stretching exercises to help you to correct flat feet. But real quick before we start, it would really help me out a lot if you guys would comment down in the comment section and also like the videos. It would help the algorithm. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the content. But now, let's get on to the exercises. The first is going to be the mobilization exercises. With regard to the mobilizations, this first one we want to be in a standing position. We want our heels directly below our hips. And this first mobilization is going to be for inversion or supination of the foot. Inversion or supination is when you're pointing the sole of your foot in toward the midline. So what we want to do is we're going to roll onto the outside of our ankles. And this is the inversion / supination mobilization exercise. Next, the second mobilization exercise is going to be dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion is when you are pointing your toes up toward the sky. Once again, we're in the same setup position. We're standing with our heels directly below our hips. And for this one, we want to just raise our toes up toward the sky. For both of these mobilization exercises, we want to do 20 repetitions of each of them before moving on to the strengthening exercises. Then, once you've completed 20 repetitions, it's time for the strengthening exercises. This first one is going to be for the medial soleus muscle, and specifically we're going to be targeting the superficial fibers. We want to be in a half kneeling position, so as though you're in the bottom position of a lunge. We want to get into medial rotation of tibia, so you're going to point your toes in toward the midline, and then we want to get into maximum supination of the foot, so you want to raise the arch as much as you can. Get a nice tall arch. From this position, we want to go into maximum dorsiflexion of the ankle. We're going to do that by driving the knee forward, and we want to go as far forward as possible without allowing the heel to leave the ground. If the heel raises, we've gone too far. And then the principle of action, we're going to go into plantar flexion. So you're going to raise your heel up toward the sky as high as possible. If this is too easy for you, what you can do is take your hands and you can load it by applying a downward pressure to your knee. And if this is still too easy, you can load it further by really weighing on it. So you're going to place your elbow on your thigh and you're going to push as much weight onto your thigh as possible to load it a little bit more. But that was the strengthening exercise for the superficial fibers of the medial soleus muscle. And then the second strengthening exercise is going to be for the anterior tibialis muscle. Once again, the superficial fibers in the setup position is going to be the same. We are in a half kneeling position, so as though you're in the bottom position of a lunge. You're going to get into medial rotation of tibia, so your toes are going to be pointing in toward the inside. We want to get maximum supination of the foot, so get a nice high arch in your lower foot. And then what we want to do for this one is we're going to go into maximum plantar flexion. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to come back and we want to go as far back as possible until the toes lift. If the toes lift, you've gone too far. Principle of action for this one, we want to go into dorsiflexion. So you're going to bring your toes up toward the sky. And then if this is too easy for you, you can take your hands, put them on your thigh, and apply a downward pressure. If this is still too easy, once again, we can lean on it and then apply a little bit more resistance this way. With regard to these 2 strengthening exercises, we want to do 3 sets of 50 repetitions, and that's 5-0, not 1-5. The reason we're going so high with the repetitions is because we're trying to elicit a postural change, and whenever we're trying to elicit a postural change, one of the most important things is going to be accumulating enough time under tension. And if we do the typical 8 to 12 bodybuilding repetition rep range, we're not going to be able to accumulate that time under tension. So 3 sets of 50 repetitions for each of the strengthening exercises. And then last, we're going to finish off with the stretching exercises. For the stretching exercises, I've got 2 for you. One of them is going to be a local stretch, and then one of them is going to be a global stretch. For the local stretch, I'm going to be demonstrating the myofascial stretching exercise for the extensor digitorum longus, and for it, we're going to be in a standing position. And the first thing that we want to do is we are going to take our foot, we're going to go into plantar flexion, and we want to place the midfoot on the ground. So we're going to take the dorsal surface, or the top part of our foot, press the midfoot down into the ground, and then what we want to do is we are going to push the lateral malleolus away. The lateral malleolus being the bone at the bottom of the fibula. So we want to press that away from our body, and then the last thing that we want to do is we are going to press the knee forward. But this is the myofascial stretching exercise for the extensor digitorum longus. And then last, we're going to do a global stretch. The global stretch is going to be for the lateral compartment of the lower leg. And for this one, we're in a standing position once again. We want to get into a varus force, maximum varus force at the ankle. A varus force is a medial force. So what you want to do is press the lateral malleolus away, and we're going to do that by rolling onto the outside of the foot. And we're also going to get maximum varus force at the knee. So imagine that you're trying to push your knee away from you as well. And this is the global stretch for the lateral compartment of the lower leg. With regard to the stretching exercises, you want to do 3 sets of a 30-second hold for each of the stretching exercises. And once again, you're going to do them every single day because we're trying to elicit that postural change. If you only do them once a week or once a month, you're not going to be able to elicit that postural change. So you want to make sure that you do them every single day. If you have any questions at all with regard to anything that I discussed today, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section so I can help you guys out. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.